Attack Release is the fifth studio album by American rock duo The Black Keys. It was produced by Danger Mouse and was released on April 1, 2008. The sessions saw the band transitioning away from their homemade ethos to record making. Not only was it the first time that the band completed an album in a professional studio, but it was also the first time they hired an outside producer to work on a record. Scars on Broadway is the debut album by Scars on Broadway, a band consisting of System of a Down members Darren Malakian and John Dolmayan. The album contains 15 tracks, all written by Malakian. The album opened at number 17 on the Billboard 200 with 24,000 copies. Real Emotional Trash is the fourth album by Stephen Malkmus and the Jicks. The album was released on March 4, 2008 by Matador Records. The album was leaked onto the internet January 13, 2008. The album peaked number 64 on the Billboard 200. The Slip is the seventh studio album by American industrial rock band Nine Inch Nails, released on July 22, 2008. It was the fourth consecutive Nine Inch Nails release to be produced by frontman Trent Reznor with collaborators Atticus Ross and Alan Moulder. Saints of Los Angeles is the ninth and final studio album by the American glam metal band MPCRE, released on June 24, 2008. It marks the first full-length studio album with the band's original lineup since 1997's Generation Swine, following the return of longtime drummer Tommy Lee. American Hearts is the first solo album by A.A. Bondi, released in 2007. Warpaint is a 2008 album by blues rock band The Black Crowes. Released on March 3, 2008, it was the band's first studio album in almost 7 years, and its first with new members Luther Dickinson and Adam McDougall, as well as the first to be released on the band's own Silver Arrow Records label. Electric Arguments is the third album by The Firemen, an experimental music duo consisting of Paul McCartney and producer Youth. The album was first announced September 29, 2008, on Paul McCartney's website, and was released on November 24, 2008 on the duo's website. Loyalty to Loyalty is the second studio album by American indie rock band Cold War Kids. It was released on September 23, 2008 in the United States by Downtown Records. Following the success of their debut album Robbers Cowards, the band started recording new material for their next album over the course of 4 months around California. The Hungry Saw is the seventh studio album by British alternative band Tindersticks, released on April 28, 2008 by Beggars Banquet Records. Following the release of the band's sixth album, Waiting for the Moon in 2003, Tindersticks had entered an extended hiatus before reconvening to perform at the Don't Look Back event in September 2006. Jukebox is the eighth album by American singer, songwriter Chan Marshall, also known by her stage name, Cat Power. It was released on January 22, 2008 on Matador Records. A limited edition silver foil deluxe package was also released containing a bonus disc with 5 extra songs. Little Wild One is the sixth studio album by Joan Osborne released under Saguaro Road Records on September 9, 2008. On this album she was assisted again by producers, writers Rob Hyman, Eric Bazilian, and Rick Chertoff, who also worked with her on her breakthrough album Relish. Consolers of the Lonely is the second album by American rock band The Raconteurs. It was released on March 25, 2008 on Warner Brothers Records in most parts of the world, and a day earlier on XL Recordings in the UK. Third is the third studio album by English band Portishead. It was released on April 27, 2008 on Island Records in the United Kingdom, 29 April on Mercury Records in the United States and 30 April on Universal Music Japan in Japan. Accelerate is the 14th studio album by the American alternative rock band R.E.M., released on March 31, 2008 in Europe, and on April 1 in North America. Produced with Jack Knifley, Accelerate was intended as a departure from the 2004 album Around the Sunday. Evil Urges is the fifth studio album by My Morning Jacket. It was released by Otta Records on June 10, 2008. The cover was by Gary Burton. The Bedlam in Goliath is the fourth studio album by the American progressive rock band The Mars Volta, released on January 29, 2008 on Gold Standard Laboratories and Universal Motown Records. Produced by guitarist and songwriter Omar Roger. Gez Elpez, The album's creation was subject to bad luck controversy after an experience with Ouija that Rodriguez Lopez bought as a gift for vocalist Cedric Bixler's Avala. Dear Science is the third album by American art rock band TV on the radio. It was released via Interscope Records in the United States, Touch and Go Records on iTunes, and was licensed through 4AD in Europe and all remaining territories. Brighter Than Creation's Dark is the seventh studio album released by Drive-By Truckers. It was released on January 22, 2008 in the United States. Recorded during and after the acoustic Dirt Underneath tour, the album features a more stripped-down, and country-based sound not seen since their second release Pizza Deliverance. Only by the Night is the fourth studio album by American alternative rock band Kings of Leon, released worldwide in September 2008. Writing for the band's fourth album commenced just days after the release of their third, Because of the Times. Chinese Democracy is the sixth studio album by American hard rock band Guns N' Roses, released in November 2008 on Geffen Records. It is the band's first studio album since the Spaghetti Incident, and their first album of original studio material since the simultaneous releases of Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 in September 1991. Saturnalia is the first studio album by the Gutter Twins, a collaboration between Greg Dulli and Mark Lingen. The album, which was started as far back as 2003, was released on March 4, 2008. Prior to the album's release, the duo began posting songs on their official MySpace page. Songs in A is the sixth studio album by English rock band Spiritualized and is their first since 2003's Amazing Grace. It was released on May 26, 2008 in the UK on Sanctuary Records and on 27 May in the USA on Fontana Records. Stay Positive is the fourth studio album by The Hold Steady, released on July 15, 2008 through Vagrant Records. Vocalist, guitarist Craig Finn notes that the album is about the idea of aging gracefully. Death Magnetic is the ninth studio album by American heavy metal band Metallica, released on September 12, 2008 through Warner Brothers Records. It was the band's first album to be produced by Rick Rubin, making this their first album since 1991's Metallica not to be produced by Bob Rock.